Joe Lachowski is with us. Happy summer to you, sir.
Good morning.
What's, just out of curiosity, are the sleeping bear dunes dangerous?
They're not necessarily dangerous. People just need to respect and understand that they could get into situations that they should be prepared for.
What sort of rescue attempts, as I understand it, they happen on a fairly regular basis, do you have to go through?
Most of the time, we're looking at summertime in the heat of the day, like the day was yesterday, pretty warm. Folks will underestimate their ability, overestimate how difficult hiking through the sand dunes are, and they'll just take off for a short hike. They won't have enough water. They won't be wearing sunscreen. They'll head out into the dunes. They might be a family group. They'll split up. Some of them will get lost. Others might be dehydrated because they don't have enough water. We need to go and deal with all those situations.
So when you compare it, say, to Olympic National Park or Mount Rainier or Yellowstone or Glacier National Park, there seem to be more rescues at Sleeping Bear Dunes than those other national parks. I think we're a national seashore, if I'm not mistaken, or there's a designation like that. How do you go and get these people? Because I know it's tempting to want to walk down to the beach, and then you get down there and you're like, oh, how am I going to get back up there?
Exactly. So it obviously depends on where they are and what the situation is. We do a risk analysis for every call we get for help because we're not going to place our folks at risk unnecessarily. Mm-hmm. And so depending on where these folks are, they'll give us a call. We have to first locate them. And a lot of times we'll get a call, hey, where are you? I'm lost in the dunes. Well, that's not very descriptive. So that takes a lot of searching, a lot of manpower to do that. One of our more common areas for calls for assistance is off the Pierce Stocking Scenic Drive. You can drive to the top of a beautiful dune. You can look at Lake Michigan. It's a beautiful view from the top, but a lot of people then want to climb down the big dune to get to Lake Michigan. It might take you 10 minutes to get to the bottom. It's very easy to go down a giant sand dune, but then to get back up is very strenuous, and that's what gets people into trouble. They don't have the physical ability. It's too hot. They don't have enough water. Then we'll get called to help them at that point.
Well, it's tough to describe where you are because it's basically treeless. There's no shade or anything like that, right?
That is correct, and the sand acts like a giant oven. People tend to hike 3, 4 in the afternoon during the heat of the day, so not only is it hot in the ambient air temperature, but the sand has been absorbing the heat all day and will reflect that back to you, so it is very hot.
What do you recommend, then, for safety?
I recommend that you always have a plan, so you let somebody know where you're going and how long you expect to be. And I always overestimate. If I think the hike's going to take an hour and a half, it's the sand dunes. It's hot. I'm not going to hike as fast as I normally do, so I might then say I'm going to take 2.5 hours, 3 hours to do this hike. Take a lot of water. And one of the biggest things we suggest is if you're hiking in a group, stay together. We end up looking for a lot of kids because the kids want to explore, what's over the next dune? What's over the next dune? And, of course, if they go over one dune, then they want to go over the next one and the next one and the next one. And all the sand dunes look the same, so eventually kids are separated from their parents or the parents are separated from the kids. They don't know where they are. They've lost the trail. Then we have to expend great resources and time to go locate these folks that are somewhere in the sand dunes.
Okay. You ever been in trouble out there yourself?
I have not yet been in trouble in the sand dunes.
I noticed you said yet. Let's hope it doesn't happen for you, but thank you for the warning this morning, too. And it is one of the most beautiful spots on Earth. In fact, the most, according to Good Morning America.